Why hello YouTube! Greetings from the LazyEyebrowReviewer, and today is the video review for the Classics Voyager Optimus Prime. Unfortunately mine isn't complete, but to do that would have cost $70 after shipping, and well, that's a bit steep for me. Thus, he has no wind vane, which looked off in my opinion to begin with, and no smokestacks, which isn't really that big of a deal anyway. It's cool that they designed weapons to become part of the figure, but the wind vane really was useless. Anyway, onto the figure. This version of Optimus Prime is loosely based on his G1 self, and that is pretty dang awesome. There are of course some differences, such as the odd choice of headlights, but this is still the same red cab over truck we've come to expect from our favorite little Prime. This is also slightly customized as well. On the front I've painted the grille and the bumper a metallic silver instead of the dull, boring, unpainted grey that was stock. Also featured is the leftover license plate sticker from the Repro Labels MP10 kit, as well as Autobot insignias on the sides. I didn't really care all too much for the reveal of shield gimmick, to be completely honest. So let's do some size comparisons. Here we have Deluxe Sunstreaker, and I think its Sunstreaker is a bit too big for my liking. Same with Bumblebee here. Could you imagine seeing a little two-door Mini being this big on the road? However, a classic Seeker is way too small. Imagine seeing an F-15 and then have this guy rumbling down the tarmac twice as high. But well, these are scaled such for robot mode, not so much for vehicle. So let's get that over and done with. Flip the blue panels, flip down the legs, flip down the feet, pull out the doors and the arms down, shoulders out. Now, because I don't have a wind vane, Optimus' head is visible. By turning the head around, it looks like a blue patch on the roof rather than a face that's watching the clouds while driving. Just a side note. Anyway, pull that head up and turn it around. Pull out this hinge locking system and collapse it up here. Rotate the chest around, pull out the hand and wrap the doors around the arm and up. Rotate the shoulders forward and you're done. Now, because of the lack of accessories, Optimus lacks a firearm. But that is okay. Why, you may ask? Well, Optimus works on the 5mm peg system, and just about any gun you can find will fit on him. Therefore, stealing Annihilator's gun, don't worry, he's busy slaying people with his sword to care about his gun, will give him that ever so awesome G1 appearance. Something those smokestacks, and especially the wind vane, couldn't do. As for modifications, I've added Autobot symbols to the shoulders. The symbols from the truck mode are applied to the inside of his arms and pretty much hide themselves quite nicely. Waist and thighs have gotten the chrome touch as compared to that ugly, dull grey they had on them, much like the elbow joint shown at the top right of the screen. And most importantly, the shin vents. These came in a solid black color and man was that ever out of place. He just didn't quite look like Optimus to me, and they definitely needed some sprucing up. And well, once I started painting, I just couldn't stop. So that's when the rest of the truck got its upgrade. As for articulation, shoulders rotate and move out, bicep swivel, and 90-degree elbow. At this point, I will mention these doors can't come off. I've tried. Unless you know how to remove the pin system involved, they're stuck here, and that kinda blows. But whatever, you kinda get used to them being here. Legs go out forward and back, thigh swivel, and a 90-degree knee. So, standard articulation. As I said before, the classics were scaled for robot mode, so let's bring on to size comparisons for reference. Reveal the shield jazz comes to about halfway up the chest, which I think works really well. Wheeljack is a bit shorter and comes to the halfway point of the grille, which I think is also scaled well. And classic Starscream, who is taller than Jack, shorter than Jazz, also fits into this line superbly. So, if you're in the habit of collecting these classics line, this is a must-have for your collection. This is the LazyEyebrowReviewer saying, if a sentient being is watching this video, you've got freedom.
Autobots, let's roll out.
And the touch.